Today we have another good round of 55 mind-blowing random facts. The vulturine guinea fowl is found only in Africa and is considered one of the oldest lineages among the order Galliformes that include birds like chickens, turkeys, and pheasants. Substances found in Gila monster venom were discovered to have potential for treating type 2 diabetes, a finding that spurred research and led to the development of a class of drugs called GLP-1 receptor agonists. These medications are also known to impact appetite and help with weight loss. A later study in 2012, for example, highlighted their ability to reduce cravings. Prominent drugs in this class today include semaglutide, widely known by the brand name Ozempic. Funny part is that the Gila monster itself only needs to eat a few times a year. They're able to survive on just 3 or 4 large meals, mainly eaten in the springtime. And now, a dive to the ocean. Salps are transparent, gelatinous sea creatures that usually measure just a few inches. Individually, they might not seem like much, but when trillions of them gather in massive oceanic swarms, their impact is considerable. This is partly because salps can grow astonishingly fast, increasing their body length by up to 10% every hour. We've all heard of the drug thalidomide. What's fascinating is that it comes in 2 mirror image forms, known as R and S isomers. It was originally sold as a racemic mixture containing a mix of both. Tragically, while the R form had the intended calming effect, it was the S form that caused terrible birth defects like limb malformations by disrupting the baby's blood vessel development and growth. Heartbreakingly, at the time of its widespread use in the late 1950s and early 1960s, the pharmaceutical industry and regulatory bodies did not fully understand the critical differences in biological activity between drug enantiomers. The Iberian Reconquista, a lengthy period of conflicts between Christian and Muslim forces on the Iberian Peninsula, lasted an impressive 781 years, from 711 to 1492 AD. It's often cited as one of the longest periods of warlike struggle in history. Carob comes from the carob tree, or Ceratonia siliqua, is often used as a chocolate replacement, and while it's widely grown in places like Portugal, which is a major producer, the plant originated in the Mediterranean and Middle East. Carob also has industrial importance because its seeds are used to create locust bean gum, or E410, a common food thickener. Humpback whales have golf ball-sized bumps called tubercles along their heads. These golf ball-sized bumps on their heads and fins are hair-filled follicles, each typically housing a single stiff hair. These biological sensors may help them feel their surroundings, much like a cat's whiskers, and also reduces drag. They are also famous for the complex songs they sing, which can last for about 20 minutes at a time. These elaborate vocalizations are used for communication and are believed to be particularly important for males during mating season. Some whales even pick up new song phrases from neighboring groups, creating what are essentially regional dialects, a fascinating demonstration of animal culture found outside of primates. The common genet, or Genetta genetta, is a small viverrid indigenous to Africa that was introduced to southwestern Europe, like Portugal, Spain, and parts of France. Some think the Moors might have brought genets as pets, which then settled in the peninsula, adding to the natural spread from Africa. Bangkok topped the world's most visited cities in 2024, welcoming a record 32.4 million international visitors and securing its place as the globe's favorite destination for several consecutive years. This surge reflects Thailand's traveler-friendly visa policies and Bangkok's irresistible blend of culture, cuisine, and modern life. A 2019 global survey found that more than half of people aged 15 and older, 55%, can't swim on their own. Feeding the hungry is key in Sikhism, and the Golden Temple in India feeds around 100,000 people daily for free. People of all religions, races, and castes are welcome. Lamas wield spit like diplomats wield words, a messy but effective way to negotiate rank. While often framed as comical, this behavior is a calculated display of dominance, ensuring order without serious injury. The origin of the word arena lies in the ancient Roman amphitheaters. The central performance area in these venues was covered with harina, aka sand, to absorb blood during gladiatorial contests and other spectacles. Over time, the word arena came to refer to the sandy area itself, and eventually the entire enclosed space used for performances or contests. This is how the English word arena got its meaning, directly from the Latin word for sand. Cows are among the most diverse domesticated animals, with more than 1,000 recognized breeds worldwide. Cows navigate the world through scent with near supernatural precision. Their highly tuned noses can catch whiffs of water or danger miles away, while also acting as a social ledger, identifying herd mates and even sensing stress within the group. For farmers, this means even subtle changes in smell, like new equipment or feed, can unsettle these perceptive grazers. Bonus fact, cattle use phlegm response, curling back the lip, to trap scents on their vomeronasal organ, a trick shared with horses and cats. Natural diamonds actually originate really deep inside the earth, more than 200 kilometers down in the mantle. The only way they make it up to the surface for us to find is through unique, powerful volcanic eruptions that come from those extreme depths. These dazzling stones are really old. The average natural diamond is roughly 1.5 billion years old. The triangular mouth of a river is called a delta because way back in ancient Greece, scholars thought the shape of the Nile River's delta looked just like their letter delta. While many people might assume the Amazon has the biggest delta because of its sheer size, it doesn't form a traditional delta at all. The largest in the world is the massive one formed by the Ganges and Brahmaputra rivers. This huge delta spans over 105,000 square kilometers and supports a population exceeding 145 million people. In ancient Greece, specifically in Athens, they had a unique way to deal with unpopular or potentially threatening figures. A vote could be held to banish them temporarily without a trial. Citizens cast these votes by writing the person's name on broken pieces of pottery known as ostraca. This fascinating historical practice is actually where the English word ostracize comes from, also the same origin in other languages. Lucky bamboo is not real bamboo. While it looks a little like true bamboo, it's not related to the panda food. Its scientific name is Dracana sanderiana, and it's more closely related to dragon trees. Like real bamboo, it's super easy to grow, but unlike real bamboo, it's not going to invade your entire garden. Eating eel is common around the world, but whether it's freshwater or marine eel, the animal is always served cooked because toxins found in its blood can cause extreme muscle cramping if consumed by humans. It contains ichthyotoxins like hemolysin proteins, which are neutralized at temperatures above 60 degrees Celsius or 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Funnily enough, the name orchid originates from the ancient Greek word for testicle, or orchis, a name given because the tubers of some species resemble that shape. Believe it or not, before the 1800s, most shoes weren't made specifically for either your left or right foot. They were identical. It wasn't until later that shoemakers started creating designs shaped for each individual foot. You essentially have a second brain located in your gut. This extensive network, called the enteric nervous system, boasts over 100 million neurons and can control digestion independently. What's more, it produces around 90% of your body's serotonin and appears to play a role in influencing your emotions. Dung beetles have an incredible sense of direction, always moving in a straight line, even when the night is dark and moonless. They achieve this remarkable feat by navigating using the starry band of the Milky Way galaxy. Tristan da Cunha holds the title of the world's most remote inhabited island, sitting roughly 2,100 kilometers from its nearest neighbor, St. Helena. There is no airport on Tristan da Cunha. The only way to reach it is by boat. The ginkgo is a botanical time traveler. Its lineage stretches back 270 million years, surviving mass extinctions that wiped out even the dinosaurs. Today, these fan-leaved relics tower over urban streets, their genetic solitude a testament to life's stubborn will to endure. Bonus fact, ginkgo seeds smell like rancid butter due to butyric acid, a quirk that led cities to plant mostly male trees. Telstar 1, no larger than a beach ball, shattered the delays of distance on July 10, 1962, beaming the first live TV images across the Atlantic. Where newsreels once took days to fly overseas, this satellite compressed time to seconds, ushering in an era where the world could watch history unfold together. The Hoover Dam stands as a testament to human ambition. Building a structure as large as the Hoover Dam requires massive amounts of construction materials. The dam reaches 726 feet tall, a whopping 171 feet taller than the Washington Monument, and the dam's base is as thick as 2 football fields are long. Reaching those dimensions required engineers and builders to use a substantial amount of concrete, so much that the sheer volume is 4.5 million cubic yards or 3.8 million cubic meters. Dreams may mirror the technology of our youth. While just 12% of people today recall black and white dreams, the figure spikes among older generations raised on monochrome TV. Whether a quirk of memory or a rewiring of the brain's visual palette, this trend hints at how deeply media shapes even our subconscious. The red-crowned crane, or Grus japonensis, is considered the national bird of China and is also classified as vulnerable by the IUCN. So while culturally significant, its populations are facing threats. Cats have a surprising range of facial expressions. A study spotted up to 276 combinations of movements, though humans still win with our estimated 10,000. But many cat facial expressions are subtle and quick, which might be why we don't always notice the full extent of their communication. Tigers and your house cat share a surprisingly high amount of DNA, around 95.6%. Scientists have cataloged over 14,000 mushroom types, likely just the tip of the iceberg, with about 2,200 known as edible. And guess what? We mostly eat just one kind, the Agaricus bisporus, known as the button mushroom, cremini, white mushrooms, common mushrooms, champignon de Paris, or portobello. Yup, all the same, but in different stages of its maturity. Hot and cold water actually sound different when you pour them. Cold water is thicker because its molecules move slowly and stick together, making a deeper sound. Hot water is thinner since its molecules are more energetic and don't bond as much, so it pours with a higher pitch. Orchids are bizarre, and at the same time beautiful plants, and there are a lot of them. With more than 25,000 varieties, they make up around 10% of the world's plant species, and many of them have their own set of tricks. When it's time to spread pollen, a number turn to mimicry to lure in beneficial insects. Some even release pheromones that smell like female insects. If you multiply these two numbers, you get that big number, a palindrome number that reads the same forwards or backwards. Measles doesn't just sicken, it rewinds your immune system. By obliterating the cells that remember past infections, the virus leaves survivors vulnerable to diseases they'd already conquered. This immune amnesia explains why measles outbreaks double childhood mortality long after the rash fades, a hidden toll beyond the immediate illness. Spaceflight's cruel arithmetic was laid bare in 1903. Tchaikovsky's equation revealed that 96% of a rocket's mass is merely the price to reach orbit, leaving a meager 4% for satellites or astronauts. Over a century later, despite gleaming tech, this tyranny of the rocket equation remains the law. Every gram fought for, every drop of fuel precious. 58% of trees in the world are found in only one country, Brazil, that's right, with an incredible 8,800 endemic tree species within its borders. Oysters defy rigid biology. Species like the European flat or Pacific oyster fluently switch sexes, sometimes repeatedly, to adapt to their environment. While younger oysters tend to be male, older populations skew female, ensuring reproductive flexibility. Scientists still puzzle over the exact cues, but for oysters, gender is more strategy than destiny. A bite is 8 bits, and 4 bits are known as a nibble. Some birds can eat super spicy chili peppers without any issues, which actually helps the chili plants spread their seeds. This relationship is a good example of coevolution, where the chili plants evolve to attract birds that are good seed dispersers and deter mammals who might destroy the seeds. Pringles get their unique crunch and stackable design from their saddle-shaped form, known in math as a hyperbolic paraboloid. This clever shape keeps the chips strong and lets them nest perfectly in their iconic tube, so you get more whole chips and fewer crumbs. Penguins have specialized glands called supraorbital glands, located just above their eyes, which filter excess salt from their bloodstream. This adaptation allows them to drink seawater without harm. You might spot a penguin sneezing. It's actually expelling salty fluid filtered by these amazing glands. Not all seabirds have salt glands, but those that spend long periods at sea away from freshwater sources often do. You could actually fit all the other planets in our solar system comfortably inside the gas giant Jupiter. On average, a baby is born in the United States every 9 seconds, which is approximately the amount of time it took you to read this sentence. A rabbit's teeth never stop growing, so munching on fibrous plants is essential to keep them naturally trimmed. That's it. Thanks for watching. Share your favorite fact, and if you haven't, don't forget to subscribe.